There is a huge battle brewing over the future of AI in the United States. And really, it all comes down to one massive question. Should we have a single national one rule for AI, or should every single state get to make its own? Let's get into it.
So, this one image right here, it basically maps out the entire fight. Think of it as our roadmap. We're going to break it down piece by piece. First, the buzz. What's actually happening? Then, the signal. Why it's happening. And finally, the impact. The potential fallout from all of this.
All right, first things first, let's talk about the proposal itself. What exactly is this one rule that everyone's talking about? Okay, let's start with the buzz section of our map. The big idea here is a proposed executive order from the president, and its goal is to create a one rule for AI, a single national standard that would completely override any AI laws that states have already made. One set of rules for the whole country. So, what does a single national standard really mean in practice? Well, it means one set of federal laws for AI that applies everywhere in all 50 states. It would essentially wipe the slate clean, erasing any specific AI laws that states have already worked to put in place. And right there, that's where the fireworks start. See, on one side, you have the tech giants, and they are pushing hard for these uniform rules. But on the other side, you've got a lot of states who look at the very same proposal and see a federal power grab. Totally different ways of looking at the exact same idea.
So, let's dig into the first side of this fight. Why are the biggest names in tech pushing so hard for one single national rule?
If we look at the signal section on our map, you can see the heavy hitters. We're talking Amazon, Meta, Google, Microsoft. They're all lining up for what's labeled here as uniform rules. They want one consistent playbook for AI across the entire country.
And for these companies, it's pretty simple. Just imagine trying to launch a new AI tool, but you have to follow 50 different, maybe even contradictory sets of rules. It would be a legal and financial nightmare. A single standard just smooths everything out and creates one clear road for them to innovate.
But now, let's flip the coin. Why are states so worried about an idea that, on the surface, seems to make things simpler? Well, from the state's point of view, this isn't about simplicity at all. It's a power grab. And our map here shows this with these broken shields, which symbolize their fear of weakening what they call hard-won local safeguards. The real fear, at its core, is this. Many states have already passed their own consumer protection laws for AI. They're worried that a single federal rule might actually be weaker than what they have now, which would basically undo all their work and leave their citizens with less protection. So you've got big tech and the federal government on one side pushing for one rule, and you've got the states pushing back to protect their turf. These two forces are on a collision course. So what happens next? The impact section of our guide, it predicts a pretty messy future. You can expect a whole chain reaction here. First, long drawn-out court fights over who has the authority, the feds or the states. Then you'll probably see states trying to pass workaround laws, these cleverly written rules that regulate AI without technically breaking the federal standard. And all of this just feeds into these bigger, classic American battles over federalism. And that brings us to the reality of where we are right now with AI rules. This isn't just getting decided in some lab or a Silicon Valley boardroom. No, it's being hammered out in this political tug of war between states' rights and the tech industry's ambitions. As the source material puts it so well, for now, AI rules are being shaped as much by federalism battles as by technologists. It's a really powerful reminder that technology doesn't just happen in a bubble, right? It's shaped by law, by politics, and by power. So that leaves us with the really big question. When we're talking about a technology this powerful, this transformative,
who do you trust to write the rules? The federal government, the individual states, or the tech giants themselves? That's a question we're all going to have to answer, and probably very soon.